Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey and I want to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home because Legos and some toy collections surfaced online to show the new Spider-Man suits and the Spider-Man collections or whatever and stuff like that. And it's kind of interesting because now we see Doctor Strange and Wanda is going to be in the movie. They actually have sets, and J. Jonah Jameson has an action figure. Have an action figure. Doctor Strange and Wand also have the thing, and then we get to see Peter Parker, Spider Man. So we get to see the three. We get to see three suits. You know, his one from that he created from what's the goddamn movie? Not Far From Home. Oh yeah, it is Far From Home. So No Way Home. Yeah, No Way Home. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I confused it. So Far From Home is the black suit that he created, and then No Way Home. This is basically the Spider-Man No Way Home. I am so sorry, guys. I confused the titles. My bad. So basically, I want to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. That is what I want to talk about. So it looks like it seems like they're going to try to do some kind of Civil War type escapade. So basically Spider-Man One More Day ish type thing or whatever from what we're seeing with the playmats. That's going to be involving some magic. It's going to be involving Michelle, Ned, and Peter on the run since they're the three who notice and stuff like that. And of course, you have J. Jonah Jameson. They have toys or whatever. And what I noticed is the suits for Spider-Man, which, to be honest, I got to tell you, Marvel, I'm getting kind of sick of it. I'm getting kind of sick of the gimmick Spider-Man suits that you gave Peter for the MCU. I'm all for suit changes, updates, or whatever and stuff like that. But it's gotten away from It's gotten away from too much Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? They have this one that looks like a knockoff Iron Man, the Iron Spider suit, the one that he wore in Endgame and Infinity War. But it looks like it's just like a regular suit, and is kind of patterned differently. So it's kind of like take the colors that they have from the Iron Man suit and kind of reverse the palette on it. Of course, it's not really all that impressive, to be honest. But hey, it is what it is. And then another one is this black and gold suit, and I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, all this does is further prove my theory about how the MCU Spider-Man is more like Miles Morales than it is Peter Parker. Yes, it has elements of Ultimate Peter Parker, but most of this is really Miles Morales' story, to be honest. And it just kind of like, everybody be like, oh, I don't like Miles Morales. Well, bitch, you've been watching Miles Morales. Iron Boy Jr. is literally Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? Because the color patterns that they're giving Peter Parker, they want to focus on red and black a lot. And those aren't Peter's colors. It is kind of funny how Peter Parker is getting more red and black colors than he is getting blue and red colors. Usually his suits are for a reasoning, but it just seems like another gimmick. And I understand they have to kind of change the costume, update it a little bit, but I kind of like the simplicity of like Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, where they tweak the suit just a little bit, where it's the same Spider-Man suit, but it has small modifications onto it. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like the same thing with like the Man of Steel suit, and then the BVS suit, and then the Justice League suit. Just little small tweaks here and there. That's all I'm saying. The same thing with Batman suits, small detail tweaks, not entire palette swaps. Like, Marvel, what the hell are you doing? I think the only time it worked was from the Amazing Spider-Man, because the Amazing Spider-Man first suit, which I think is probably the most unique Spider-Man suit in live action that I've seen, was like, wow, this is a pretty interesting, a pretty interesting costume. And then when we get to Amazing Spider-Man 2, it went back to classic, but it still had a tweak to it. It still kept that new Spider-Man logo that they had with it on the back of the suit, but gave you the ultimate and a little bit of the modern Spider-Man suit, if that makes sense. And I actually enjoyed that kind of suit, and I kind of wish they kind of would stay simple. That's what I want them to do, but I see them not. And especially when they were promoting that Spider-Man Avengers Academy suit, I thought that would be the suit that he would wear, but he's not. In none of the promotional stuff that we've seen, he's not wearing that suit, so it's kind of weird that they got so far away from what Spider-Man is, because at this point, like I said, he is literally Miles Morales. his suits, the way everything, the way these stories revolved and whatever and stuff like that is more like Miles Morales than anything else. And it is what it is. I'm not saying that you have to like it. You do like it or whatever. I know the MCU loves to keep doing things with Spider-Man, even though it doesn't really feel like Spider-Man at all, Iron Boy Jr. Um, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just saying, from looking at the toys and looking at the little thing, seeing how it's getting more black than anything else. They're adding way more black into these suits, and it seems like they're getting so far away from the traditional colors. And again, I'm not saying that you can't do it because Insomniac did it or whatever, but I feel like as a movie, it's kind of weird that he keeps going from all these different costumes, and yet they all keep going away from his traditional colors more so than staying with his traditional colors, if that makes sense. Because a video game is completely different from a movie. So I don't really want to hear nobody trying to talk about, well, in the video games, yes, I understand in the video games, and I understand they can do that because there's video games. I'm talking about continuity wise of a character having an iconic costume or whatever. I understand this is more for marketing purposes, more so than anything, and that's fine. But I kind of really wish you would go more traditional and stay within the traditional iconic costume colors or whatever, stuff like that. Because let's be honest, everybody knows that they go back to the iconic colors anyway, and I feel like, hey, why not stick to the iconic colors? You know what I'm saying, Marvel? But hey, that was my opinion. Those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.